what's something that you think that we'll never fully understand about you?
Maybe like a kind of subconscious fear of being cursed.
Really? What?
Because I don't know, like we have there is kind of like a saying, like, or when something like bad is happening to you, like, so you could say like cursed you do, which means like someone's eyes touched you.
Ooh,
and
like an evil eye.
Yeah, and it could be just someone's energy is kind of bad, and they looked at you and they were jealous or something, or like, yeah, so it could happen like of this like kind of bad energy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pod Abroad. My name is Paulina de los Santos, and in this podcast, I am having conversations with my friends. We're here in Munich, Germany. Just for some context, I'm an American who has lived in Germany for almost 9 years and have a lot of international friends with a lot of cool stories to tell. So today I am with my friend Bibi.
Hi.
And how did we meet? We actually met because we were flatmates.
Yes.
Back in my first apartment in Munich. And that was because I had lived in Freising before, a tiny town outside. But that was in 2018.
Yeah.
2018. Oof. We're getting old.
It's been a while.
The years are flying by. It's crazy that it's been that long. What can I say? It's been a ride. I loved that flat.
Yeah, it was such a pity we had to move out.
I know, true. Like in the end, like we were kind of forced to move out because someone was moving in, whatever. But we were just vibing. Like I feel like if we hadn't been kicked out, like we would have been there longer.
Yeah.
The rent was good. The energy was great. Like those were different times, like pre-pandemic. Yeah. What can I say? Fun fact about Bibi. A cool fun fact is that she takes pole dancing classes, right?
Yeah.
I love that. In Munich?
I started like last year.
Yeah. And first impressions?
And I love it. It's so fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to too. I've seen videos, but like, oh my gosh, people end up with like bruises everywhere. It's tough work.
Yeah. In the beginning, you get a lot of bruises, but then your body kind of learns that it's not so bad, and then you don't get it anymore.
That's very cool. Yeah, I feel like my hobbies like aren't so adventurous. I need to find something fun. Like so many people are like take bachata or salsa classes or like do cool stuff like you. Like,
yeah, like I think 2 years ago I started bouldering, and then I was like, okay, like I like to start new things. And last year I was like, pole dancing.
That's very cool. And it's something like just to get one's mind off of just simply like work, Netflix, dinner.
Yeah. And also like normal workouts are a little bit boring or something. They get like repetitive, and like this is a cool thing to do. Like I also like meet other people there. Like it's a bit more interactive, and like it's still like some kind of workout, so it's good for your body. I like it a lot.
So nice. So Bibi, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. In a nutshell, like what brought you to Munich, Germany, how long you've been here, all of that.
Yeah. So I'm from Kazakhstan. It's in Central Asia. I moved to Munich 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
A decade.
This year it's going to be 10 years, yeah. I came to study, and then I just stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for us. In this episode, we're also going to talk a bit about our experience at our shared university, Technical University of Munich. And I have a similar story of just like coming here for studies and staying.
Yeah.
Transitioning into work life.
Yeah.
I think Munich has a pull on people, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy way, like you don't have to commit, and I feel like it's easier to adapt when you're not like doing this big step like, oh, I'm moving to a different country. You're like, oh, I'm gonna come to study for 2 years.
True.
And so it's like, it feels more, adventurous, as you said. Like,
True.
It's like, I want to do cool stuff while I'm here.
And then life starts to slow down a little.
Yeah.
It was the same for me. I was like, oh, it's just 2 years. Like not big commitment.
Yeah.
And then, like, a
10
decade
years,
later, oh my
yeah.
gosh, it's going to be 10 years for me next year, too. So you came in 2015,
Yeah.
right? Wow. Yeah, the years just fly here. But there's always stuff to do in the city.
Yeah. It's also so close to the mountains. Like, I also like to go outdoors and like hiking and stuff. Like, it's like 1 hour away and you're in beautiful nature. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
It never gets old.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, did you grow up with like all these mountains that
No.
close?
No.
Me neither. I mean, I think both of our countries have it, but I mean, it just like wasn't an hour away
Yeah,
from
exactly.
me.
Yeah, it was like further away, and I think like back then the infrastructure wasn't as good.
Yeah. So let's help everyone get to know you a little bit better. What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
Curious.
Yeah.
I would say adaptive, like flexible, kind of. And I want to say logical.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good balance. And on that note of being logical, what would you say is like the most German thing about you now? Being in Germany for 10 years, what have you adopted?
I think planning, planning in advance. Like sometimes, like I think here, like I meet with my friends, like on planned dates.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, because a lot of people are busy, like traveling, and you're like, okay, in calendar week,
True.
2, I'm here, and like, yeah.
True.
So I think definitely that, and like I have my Google Calendar. It has like all the entries. We have a shared calendar with my boyfriend.
Wow,
so
I love that.
Like
I love that. Oh my gosh, I need to jump on the shared calendar like train. I used to like pride myself in like thinking like, oh, I'm spontaneous. I'm so spontaneous. But then eventually you have like enough friends who are not that like you become a planner.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
I'm also like that too now. But some like part of me wonders like, is it like this where I'm from? Because we're all adults now, or is it just like super German? That I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess they'll have to tell us. How is it in the US and in Kazakhstan? Like, is everyone like planning like to go to a bar 2 months from now? Because like that can happen in Germany.
Yeah, for sure.
Like for sure, right? Like trying to find schedules that come together.
Yeah.
Cool. So I want to jump into the first segment, talking all about Kazakhstan and your story. And can you just let us, have a picture of what Kazakhstan is like? What was it like growing up? It's a country that I have never been to. So you're talking to someone, that has a lot to learn.
Yeah. I think that's, I hear that a lot because we're not so many. I think the population of Kazakhstan is like 18 million. So
Really?
18, yeah. 18.
Oh my gosh. But geographically, it's massive, right?
Yeah. So, I hear a lot that like, oh, you're the first Kazakh person I know. You're
the one and only. Like, I mean, besides the friends that I've met through you.
Yeah.
But here in Munich, it's just you.
So Kazakhstan it has a very complex culture. Because of its history, like we had like a very diverse mix, because we started as a nomadic tribes, and then there was like Mongol Empire, and then I think around 10th century like Islam came, and like we became like a Muslim country, and then like there was the Russian Empire, and then the Soviet Union, and then the religion was banned there. Like, wow. So then it became like a mix like of different cultures which mixed in the Soviet Union. So like all the Soviet cultures kind of like mixed together as well. And so it's very interesting.
What would you say like was like the dominant culture then like for you growing up? Like was it a bit
I
of
mean,
a blend of it all, or was it more leaning towards one part?
I mean, we have like a culture, but it evolved through lots of steps, and like some of the things are like from this period, some are from this period, like so yeah, it's it's a mix,
a big blend.
Yeah.
So then what was it like coming to Germany initially? Like what was your first week like here? Was there a culture shock, or were you like, okay, it's not that foreign?
I mean, I think with internet and stuff, like, and like globalization in general, I think it wasn't like a huge thing. But, and like I studied in university, it was an English speaking university in Kazakhstan. And so we had like professors from abroad, like, and like
Wow.
a little bit like also exposure to international cultures or international people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the first week, it was hard because I had to find an apartment.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst here in Munich.
Yeah, that's the worst to start. And like I didn't have a lot of friends, so because the school was starting like 2 weeks from that day, and I came like, oh, I'm gonna find an apartment in 2 weeks, and like it wasn't how it went. Yeah, but I think what surprised me, I guess, I haven't seen it actually in many countries, but that nobody checks the tickets. Like, so you buy a ticket to the train. True. And you just go in, and sometimes it's get checked.
True.
But no, like it's not a machine that you go through, or like,
like a turnstile, like in Paris or whatever, where you have to have a ticket to go in.
Yeah, and it was funny because like I think I bought like a ticket which need to be validated, and nobody was doing anything. Like you just go in, like you go in, and and like I had this. Like then I had some tickets which I could use later because I haven't used them properly.
Never validated them. Yeah. But were you ever caught?
No, I like 2 weeks later. Yeah, 2 weeks later, I think my friend told me, like a classmate, like you need to validate this, and I was like, oh.
Okay. So everything was new.
Yeah.
But like, what is public transport like where you grew up? Do you also have like underground and buses, trams?
In my home city, we have trams and buses. Buses are more popular. We also have like a kind of smaller buses. They look like a Sprinter or so. Like, yeah. But a lot of people prefer cars.
And what is your hometown known for?
Pavlodar.
Yeah. What do people think of it?
It's like an industrial town. We have like a couple of factories. I cannot tell you the names.
But they're there.
Yeah.
And that's what people associate it with. Did you also study in the same city?
No, I studied in Astana, which is the capital. Yeah.
Was it like kind of nerve-wracking to study in English at the time? Or like, is it normal? Like, was everyone like super confident at that point? Because this is already like undergrad, right? Like 18 years old.
Yeah. Well, we had a foundation year where we studied only English and like math and physics. So it was like, it was a good base for studying then.
I want to go back, to cultural differences and like life in Germany. So your boyfriend Christoph is Polish, right? And you are Kazakh. Can I say, is someone from Kazakhstan Kazakh?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I want to be politically correct. And you all live in Germany. How is that dynamic? Like trying to navigate, like has there been any like challenges, or is it just like, is it good vibes, like having these blend, like the blend of three cultures?
Yeah, like there is more, like 'cause we speak in English.
True. Oh my gosh.
So like it's
which is like number 4,
yeah.
like the mystery, like country.
Yeah, I think because in my hometown, also in Pavlodar, we have a lot of Russian population. So like I think like more than 40%. Like, so I know a little bit of like Slavic culture as well, and it's a little bit similar. I wouldn't say like it's very similar, but yeah, some things. And because we moved both to Germany, we also have like this shared experience of like being migrants, or so that also brings us together. And but yeah, culturally, I don't think there is like a big like something that prevents us from just talking it out. Like it's just
you kind of meet halfway and just figure it out. I love that you say that you guys can connect on like both having shared experiences of, I guess, like knowing the struggles.
Yeah,
like you all both know the immigration office, Kalfa.
I mean, more me than him, because Poland is in Europe. So
true.
But yeah, it's yeah, there are some similarities.
Yeah, that's really nice.
But I wanted to say about Kazakh and Kazakhstan. Like, so in Kazakhstan so we have ethnicities as well. So so Kazakh is like, we call someone who is Kazakh ethnically, and there are other ethnicities like Russian or Polish, like, but like in general, people who are from Kazakhstan, I think we call Kazakhstani, like. Yeah.
And what ethnicity are you?
I'm Kazakh.
Like,
yeah,
I just gotta double check.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because also, like, similarly in the States, like people from Hawaii, for example, are also ethnically Hawaiian.
Yeah.
But they're also like not like, yeah, by citizenship American.
Yeah.
But we don't have the same for Texas. Like you're not ethnically Texan.
Yeah.
That's why I was just wanting to double check. Like, I don't know, maybe like your family comes from a blend of cultures. So like down the line, it's just been Kazakh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And what about your friends? Like, would you say like a lot of the people you grew up with were also ethnically Kazakh, or a bit of a blend?
Mostly Kazakh. But yeah, we had like some Russian guys and like I think Koreans. Like, yeah, there are a lot of.
Did you say Koreans?
Yeah.
What?
There are Koreans
in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, there are also Germans. Yeah, so
very multiculti.
Yeah.
Multicultural. So I mentioned that your boyfriend is Polish, right? And you here in Munich have a ton of international friends.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. And I wanted to ask, like, what's something that you think that we'll never fully understand about you? Like,
that's a tough question.
Is there something that like we just maybe like won't get? Yeah, just because. Yeah, maybe it's something that you relate like to people like from where you're from.
Yeah. Maybe like a kind of subconscious fear of being cursed.
Really? What?
Because I don't know, like we have there is kind of like a saying, like, or when something like bad is happening to you, like, so you could say like cursed you do, which means like someone's eyes touched you.
Ooh,
and
like an evil eye.
Yeah, and so sometimes like when it like they didn't mean it, like it could be just someone's energy is kind of bad, and they looked at you and they were jealous or something, or like, yeah, so it could happen like of this like kind of bad energy, which is again like this is like a very old, I think, cultural thing, because I think it's not religious. So like, and yeah.
Do you believe it?
No, because like I don't really believe in like superstitious stuff, but I think sometimes I still like hesitate to like say something like some achievements or something. Ooh. Because like it's like just culturally we are like,
oh, don't curse it.
Yeah, don't say like good things happen, like, and it's like actually it was pretty big, like also like I think in like 30s or like 70s, when like there were bad times, when there was like a how is it called when there is no food, like famine, yeah. In those times, even like people would name their kids like not a nice name so that they would survive, because they thought like that it's like yeah.
Wow. So it really like runs deep in the culture, like to the extent that something like that would happen. Crazy. Do you know any friends with these bad names?
No, like, but I know like kind of like my grandfather was like named not a nice name, and now like when you're a kid, like you're wondering like, oh, that's a nice name, like, and then you learn, okay.
But his parents had like such good intentions.
Yeah, but now it's not anymore. Like I think for many years it's not.
I see. Yeah, so culture has evolved since. Does your name mean anything?
Yeah.
Bibi ko.
Yeah, our like most of our names mean something. My name is Persian origins. So in Persian, Bibi means a princess or like a royal woman. And Gul means flower. Gul is in Kazakh as well, like.
Oh, so that's beautiful.
Like a princess of flowers.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I never knew that. Yeah. Learning something new. Want to jump into the second segment, which is all about studying here in Germany. Because you said you moved to Germany nearly 10 years ago to study at the Technical University of Munich. How did that come about? So you did your undergrad, your bachelor's degree in Kazakhstan in English.
Yeah.
How did the idea start? Then like what happened? What was your journey?
I mean, I wanted to study abroad like even before. Like I wanted to go for undergrad also abroad, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I was way too young. But yeah, so I wanted to go abroad, and I did like an semester abroad in US in my third year, like
true, in Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin, yeah.
I remember. That's really cool.
Yeah, your brother studied there, right?
No, but my dad used to live in Wisconsin for like many years. So like I had even toured like University of Wisconsin or Madison, like the campus. Super beautiful with the lake.
It was, and so I wanted to get this experience of like studying abroad, like I think. Yeah.
But then why Germany? Like when there's so many other cool countries in the EU.
So honestly, I think I mean, I was looking at like best universities, like the list, you know, like where should I go? And but I think like I was a bit late when I started like applying, so like I think I wanted to try to apply to US as well, but the US had like end of application was like 15th of December or something, and I only like started looking into it like in the Christmas break. And so then I started looking into like some other countries, universities, and like Tübingen is one of the best in Europe. And also what was appealing that in Germany it was kind of for free. Like you had to pay.
It was.
Like
back in the day.
Yeah, like 100 euros or something for the semester ticket, and you get like a free transportation.
So that was a big influence as well.
Yeah.
For me, that was like the reason why I wanted to come, because I had debt from my bachelor's program in the US, which is so normal.
Yeah.
And the fact that I could study tuition free, because it was just fees, like the 100 euro a semester or something. The fact that I could study tuition free, I was like, oh my gosh, sign me up. Like, I want to go. And then, of course, also like Technical University of Munich, TUM, they say, I don't know who they, like the media is always like comparing it to MIT in the US, and like the logo is like trying really hard. But there was a lot of good things to say about our university. So for me, like that, like the price, like the fact that like I didn't have to take out all these loans was like a huge point. On that note, have you heard like how much it costs now for international students?
No, like that's a surprise to me.
I did some research, and it's actually, so it's anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 euro per semester.
That's crazy.
And it depends on your master's program, but they're even charging international students for their bachelor's. And I looked up your master's program. What was it in? Actually, I went on
Computational science.
Computational science. I went on LinkedIn and checked today. And for your master's program, for international students now, it's 6,000 euro per semester.
Yeah.
Like, crazy, right?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Would you have come if it was that price?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because, so how I came was through a program. So there is a program in Kazakhstan for students who want to study abroad. So they pay a scholarship, like, so they pay tuition fees. They pay, like, they give you money for like studying and like living and stuff, like, and the condition is you have to come back to Kazakhstan because they want to invest like in highly educated people, and you have to come back and work for like 5 years in Kazakhstan. You can choose where you work. It just has to be in Kazakhstan. And that's the same program that I came with. And then, like, because my parents and like I couldn't afford it to come, like, to live here, because living here is expensive as well. And so for not going back and like staying here, I had to pay back. So like so it was kind of like a loan, and then I had to pay like 10% extra.
But if you had to pay the $6,000 per semester out of pocket, would you have chosen to still come here?
I don't know, like, but there are not so many other options, you know, like, I mean, UK is, you have to pay a lot. US, you have to pay a lot.
True. Like, it's kind of just like joining all the others.
Yeah, I think Norway is the only other option, but I don't know how competitive it is to get there.
I for sure, like, no, like, I would not be in this country if I had to pay that much. Because I'd have to pay that much in the US, in my own home country. So like maybe I wouldn't have been so adventurous to like take a risk and like pay that amount. But sadly enough, like I remember like how our university like announced it. They just like put a press release out, and like it was all over LinkedIn. I think this was last year, and they had like told no one about it. Like there was no survey apparently, and like students were outraged. Luckily, like the current students were like able to, of course, like finish their degree. But I think it's something really, really sad for diversity, because in that sense, like you only get people who can afford it. And I think there are other ways. Like on one hand, I understand that the German government maybe thought that there wasn't a return of investment. Like, because it is funded by taxpayers' dollars.
But it's still like not understandable, because there is a lack of professionals still. So
within the workforce here in Germany,
and I think a lot of people stay, like you and me.
Yes. So. they would have lost me. Like I would have never been here if it was like that to like 8 years ago when I started. And I just think like there could have been something halfway. Like maybe they could have offered like, oh, it's tuition free if you work in Germany for 3 years. Like that could have been something. Like if you work in Germany full time for 3 years, then it's tuition free. If you don't, then you have to pay. And even that like would have opened up, I think, the opportunity for diversity still. So I wonder how that looks like.
Is it also for Europeans or just for
I think
non-EU? Okay.
I think it's just non-EU. I mean, luckily, there's a lot of diversity within the EU. I'm advocating for Americans. No, but you're right. But there's so many other cultures outside the EU as well. Yeah. That like deserve to enrich like the German workforce as well.
But I remember when I was applying, that was the same like in a lot of countries. Like in Netherlands, I think it was also like a very huge difference between the tuition for EU countries and non-EU countries.
Yeah.
Like I think it's not the only country.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I think university, like everywhere around the world, is just getting so crazy expensive. I mean, life is, and like, I guess you have to choose the right thing to study and like hope that you get a good job. But thank God, like, I think some lawyers in the US, like, it's kind of like gambling, like for yourself, like betting on yourself, because they take out like over 100,000 in loans or 150,000 and like all on the basis that like you're gonna get a good job. Like I think that would stress me out so much. So I'm glad we had tuition free degrees here in Germany. It was a different time. And look at us. I would say that we're good examples, right?
Yeah.
Of like the German system, Technical University of Munich graduates. What would you say like was your overall impression of your master's program here in Munich?
In what sense?
Was it good? Was it bad? Did you think like, oh, it kind of sucked, like it was better in my like home country, or it was just different?
It was different. I think so. What I don't like about the program here was that your grade was like based on one exam.
Oh my God.
And like,
I hated that.
Like you have a bad day or something.
Seriously.
Like, or like there is this one problem you didn't know how to do, and like, but you knew like 100 others, and like it doesn't matter. Like you had to know this one, and like
it's horrible.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that back in Kazakhstan?
It wasn't like that, no. Like we had like most of our classes had like several projects, like it accumulates, you have like some homework sometimes, like it's maybe 10%, but like
it helps.
Yeah, and then you have like I think at least 3 exams. Like
it's the same like, in Texas where I went. Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of accumulates. Yeah, like also like for me, it was quite different. Like in Kazakhstan, my university was brand new when I started.
Sparkling.
We were like the first cohort. Like we were like 500 people.
Wow.
Less than 500. And it was all like for us. Like we knew everyone from our like year.
I'm sure the professors were also motivated then.
Yeah,
because they're not like burned out. It's like like new university.
They most of them like just moved to Kazakhstan. For them it was like a brand new country. And they were like developing the programs, like writing the whole thing, and we had a lot of personal connection too. Like I knew like my professors, like they knew all of us by names, like so here I think it was different because there are like so many students, you cannot really do that. So but like the content was great. Like I liked it. Like
overall, like would you recommend it to someone? What you studied?
Yes, but you have to know what you're going into. Like especially in my program, because it was like heavily like math based, and like it sounds a bit more like computer science based, like, but yeah.
I see. Do you guys have school pride in Kazakhstan? Like, are there
uh
like, I don't know, is there merch like there is in the US? Like, are there, I don't
I
know,
think not to that degree.
sports teams?
Not to that degree, definitely, but uh we do have, like, our university does have like pride, and also like we, like, as a first cohort, like
True.
we have like special feelings because we were like building the culture, like we were
Yeah.
like, yeah,
The
so
pioneers.
yeah.
I love that. Um, you, yeah, so you were in your master's program here. Were you ever also like a working student?
No.
Or did you ever have an internship?
uh no, like I did my master thesis at the company, like at
Okay.
BMW. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was like kind of like the closest.
Shout out to BMW.
Yeah.
Amazing. How did you find the balance between moving to a new country, trying to find a place to live, like starting a program, trying to make friends, and like navigating a new culture? Did it feel chaotic or like was it pretty smooth?
I mean, I don't think I balanced so well. I don't know, how was it for you? Like,
Yeah, it was hard.
I think like I remember I was focusing a lot on studying, because
Yeah.
like if I don't
Focus on
focus,
anything.
yeah, but
Like,
like, yeah, but that was the thing that brought me here, and like
yeah.
what I needed to be here. And like most of my friends which I had in, like, when I just moved, were from my studies. So you just meet, like, because you see each other every day. Like, we had like some classes in between which we had like a 2-hour break where you cannot go home because it's like a
Yeah.
40-minute drive on the U-Bahn. So yeah, like we just stayed, hang out, had a coffee, and like, yeah, so
Was your program super international or like a bit of a blend, like between international students and German students?
it was a blend. Yeah, we had like some Germans who decided to study in English with us. Yeah.
And would you say, like, are you still friends with some of the friends that you made from your master's program
Yeah,
today?
yeah. Like one of them I'm working with.
Oh yeah, remember you
Vasilis,
saying?
and like, yeah, like I have like Dumi and Alex. Like, yeah, those friends I'm still in touch. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys like, I mean, you went through things
Yeah.
together, and now you're all working together. That's really cool.
Yeah. I think some who moved out of Munich, with them I kind of lost touch.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you feel like were there a lot of people that left Munich from your friend group or not at all?
Yeah, like kind of like, I don't know, like half maybe, but
But it was fine. Like it just felt
yeah.
felt like another chapter of life.
Yeah.
I felt like so when a lot of my friends left and moved naturally back to like I don't know, their home countries and other places. It felt like so crazy for me because suddenly like all of my friends were gone. I mean, a few were still here, but like Munich just felt like such a different city. I remember.
Yeah.
It's just like that was actually like when I first moved in to your place and I was still like writing my master's thesis. Everyone was
Yeah.
like going different ways. I think that's hard, like sometimes just being but it's the nature of like being an immigrant that like people come and go.
Yeah.
And that's just life, being an international student.
But now you have all the friends like around the
Yeah.
globe, so you can.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of different weddings that I've been invited to all over that like I feel super honored. I'm unfortunately like not able to go to all of them, but like it's so sweet. Yeah, that everyone's a little scattered across.
Yeah.
I want to finish with asking, do you think that your master's program like thoroughly prepared you for finding a job here in Germany?
for finding a job. Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
like maybe not finding, maybe like with the skills. Like, did it equip you? True, finding is like another thing. But like, did it equip you with the skills like for your job at BMW?
I mean, I think it's a master's program, so like I think it was like accumulatively. I think I was prepared.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I studied mechatronics before, like, and then like computational science. So yeah, I think so. Like, and like anyway, like in a job, you learn stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you
Think
know that I like for years I was so proud and I told all my friends like, oh yeah, I know someone working in a autonomous vehicle programming. Like she's a
yeah.
smarty. I'd like just tell everyone.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like, yeah, because there, like, I did get to use a lot of my knowledge from the universities. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, because
in
it's
your first
like,
position.
yeah, like, there is a lot of like physics and like robotics and like
Oof.
programming as well. Like,
Oh
so
my
yeah,
gosh. To me that's just
it
like
was,
a whole other world because I work in communications like um yeah, but there's
yeah,
creativity in both
yeah,
sectors. Depends on like how you frame it.
yeah.
Oh. Moving on now, I want to talk about becoming German. Because, just for context for everyone listening, Bibi is a German citizen. And I think that's so cool. You're actually the first person, like the first immigrant um, who I was friends with here in Munich who properly became German. I find it so funny saying like became German. It's so different. I just say
Yeah.
like, oh, she became German or like she got German citizenship.
Yeah.
Those are like two very different statements. Yeah, I just wanted to start off with asking when you first came to Germany, was this the end goal or was this the dream?
Yes and no, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I came like for 2 years. Like it wasn't like, yeah. So like, but then like once I kind of started working, I think it became not a dream but a goal. Because like I already lived like 2 years and then it became 4 years and then I'm like, well, now I can like get a citizenship and then like I can, it gives freedom to move if I want. Like I don't have to go through visas and stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
just gives more opportunities, I guess.
Versus like only having a Kazakh passport.
Yeah, because yeah, if you want to work in Europe, like, and then you move from one country to another, then you start over like with the visas and stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And like traveling is a lot easier with German passport. You don't need to apply for visas so much. And I
So
love traveling.
yeah. Movement is amazing and I always find it crazy how literally just depending on where you're born dictates so much in life,
Yeah.
right? Like dictates like oftentimes religion or just like social norms and then of course because of people in suits like making laws like that dictates your passport and
Yeah.
where you can go.
Yeah.
Like even though like you don't represent your government, your
Yeah.
government represents you. And I think that sucks like for so many countries that are limited in movement. Like I have a friend, yeah, Rez from the Philippines, and she has to apply for visas every time like she wants to go to the UK, even
Yeah.
though her husband's British. Like it's
Oh,
just such a
that's
struggle.
crazy.
I know. And all because of like arbitrary things. Like so I'm happy, yeah, that you have that movement now to travel more, or I guess easier in
Easier.
general.
Yeah.
Part of getting German citizenship meant that you at the time, because this was what 2-3 years ago now,
2 years ago. Yeah.
2 years ago, that meant that you had to revoke your Kazakh citizenship, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Like I didn't think it was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially when I was thinking about it back, like in, I don't know, 2018 or 19. But I think after COVID, it a little bit scared me because that's when the world kind of closed borders.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't go anymore, like, even like, so you could go if you're a citizen, but if you're not a citizen, it was super hard to get a visa. Like, even like the visa-free countries had to get visas and like were not allowed to travel. But I think, traveling in general was really hard. So I think that was a bit scary because that meant like that I cannot go like whenever I want to visit my family. Like, I think that part scared me a bit, but the rest, like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I'm gonna lose my identity. I don't know. Like,
I love that.
I'm still like,
you're
still Kazakh.
I'm literally born and raised Kazakh.
Yeah, like that's not gonna change me. Like, it's a document. Like,
I love that. You're like, just because I don't have this document doesn't change who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then it wasn't as hard of a decision in the end.
Yeah. But I think like once I got it, now I feel a bit like an imposter whenever I'm like crossing a border and I'm like, I don't even speak this language fluently.
Oh my gosh, yes you do. But no, but I know what you mean. Not like natively.
Yeah.
How long did the process take you? Like from beginning to end? Like from when you first applied here in Munich?
So I think the process starts when you start like collecting things.
Yeah.
Because like I think the biggest thing was like a German test. You need like
the B1,
after, right? No, because I wanted to apply after like 6 years of being here. Then I needed a B2. Like I think you need a B1 after 8 years. Back then I wasn't there enough years yet. So I had to do a B2.
And for those watching, like, just know we're not immigration experts. Like, the requirements change all the time.
Yeah,
this is just
became easier.
Yeah, this is just our experience.
Yeah, so I think, and then like once I had all my documents, I applied in April, and in November, end of November, I got my citizenship. So it was
within the same year.
Yeah. It was like 7 months.
Oh my gosh, that's quick. With the new laws changing and like becoming more relaxed, I applied in July last year for my citizenship in 2024, and they told me that it is a 12 to 18 month wait. That's like their estimation right now. So times have changed. Yeah, like Munich's office is like super, super busy, I think. And not only that, I think like they don't want to like make the process quick. Like they don't want like immigration to be quick and easy. Like so they take like their sweet ass time going through everything. Yeah. So let's see. Hopefully like the politics like don't, I don't know, dramatically change soon and that like I can't get it. So yeah. In a nutshell, how would you say, like, was the process pretty straightforward? Did you get a lawyer?
No, I didn't get a lawyer. No, no, it was pretty. I mean, the only thing was like, not clear. Was this regulation that after 6 years you can apply? Because in all the requirements it says like 8 years, and after 6 years, I think it says something like, if you are integrated, and like whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Yeah.
But I think it was pretty straightforward. Like after there was like a kind of like a survey you do, and then you get an appointment, and they tell you that you can apply. Like if you have a job, if you did like. Yeah, they look at some stuff. And
if you can drink like 2 mas.
Yeah.
And like a few pretzels. Integrated here in Munich. Drinking a liter of beer. Very, very important.
Yes.
But very cool. now that the laws have changed, and currently this year, I mean, as in 2025, you can now have dual citizenship, which is like why I applied as well. What does that mean for you? Like, do you want to try to get your Kazakh citizenship back, or you just don't care for the bureaucracy?
No, because so when you have like citizenship questions, it's like two countries.
Yeah.
So back then, neither of the countries allowed dual citizenship. So Germany doesn't allow it and Kazakh doesn't allow it. So now Germany changed it, and now you can be a dual citizenship here. But in Kazakhstan, it's still illegal. So even if I wanted to, it's still not possible.
Okay. But when the new law came out, like, were you frustrated, or did you feel any certain kind of way?
I mean, no, it doesn't apply to me anyway.
Okay.
Like, so
yeah. So it
but I think it makes sense. Like, why is it not allowed?
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. How was the Einbürgerungstest? Did you have to take one?
Yeah.
Like the citizenship test? What was that like?
It was quite easy. It's a test, like ABCD test.
Yeah.
So I got like 100%.
Ooh, I missed one. I was so mad. I got 32 out of 33. I'm not like a 100% German.
You know what happened at that test? Like, it was right after Olaf Scholz became the president, or the chancellor.
Yeah.
And there was a question about like, who is the chancellor of Germany? And there was no answer of Olaf Scholz because it was still Angela Merkel on the test.
Hey. That's cute because like they hadn't updated it in time.
No.
Speaking of like how outdated it was, so I took my test in Memmingen, which like for reference for everyone listening is like outside of Munich, like maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes an hour. Because last year, like I was looking last January to take the citizenship test, and there wasn't any available slot in Munich until like October. And I was like, this is insane. I'm not going to wait 10 months to sign up for this exam. Found one a little outside of Munich in June, which was still 6 months away. I also like studied for it, like, I don't know, a solid week and a half. Like I had an app, I had a book. Yeah. It was pretty straightforward. I mean, I learned a lot of like German words that I didn't know about, like, I don't know.
And history and some like political systems.
Yes, like there was a lot of specific words as well, but I mean, once I learned them, then like it was okay. When I took the test, and I saw, I mean, first off, it was all like fully paper, and like you had to put all your answers on the front page with no Scantron or anything, like no like automated way. It was so funny. And then like the questions themselves, like literally had like shadows around them. And I could tell that they had been like cut up and scanned, like really, really old school. Like you could literally see like how they were like cut and scanned on every page. No, come to think of it, I don't even know if we had to put our answers on the front page. I was just like, this is insane. Like they're literally like reading this by like going through it page by page to grade it.
It's not automated. I think.
And I think it took like 8 weeks or something, like 2 months for me to get a result because they sent them to Berlin. I'm like, y'all are just trying to make this hard. But in the end, I mean, it was pretty straightforward and like not too hard. There was a cute question saying like, how do Germans celebrate Easter? And the answer was like, they paint eggs. Just like simple stuff. Or like, for the state of Bavaria where we're at, it said like, which one is a Bavarian flag? And I was like, oh my gosh, like if I didn't know this, like please kick me out. It's been too long. Like they're literally everywhere. BMW, like the logo, like it's logo. Like the pride and joy of this town is like,
you see it everywhere.
Literally, like... you cannot escape it. If someone gets that wrong, like they should just be like canceled. Do you have any advice to anyone applying for citizenship right now?
I guess start early.
Yeah.
Because like I was waiting like for 6 years to pass, and then I was like, oh, now I need to start collecting documents.
True.
And then like it took another, like you said, like half a year to take the test, to take the other test, like, and you need to translate lots of documents, and like it takes time. So yeah, prepare, apply early.
Yeah. One thing that I like heard from this like Migrando, which is like an immigration lawyer, like, I mean, they're like a service that has many lawyers. They said like that you should apply even if you don't have the Einbürgerungstest and if you have everything else, because by the time that they're reviewing your application, it's like sometimes a year later, and you're gonna already have to give them new documents. It's not like, apparently, like your application won't be like null and void, canceled, if you don't have that the first time you apply. So
yeah, I also heard that you should like keep updating some of the documents which expire. For example, like they ask for some salary slips, and you can just, if it's been like 3 months now, like you can send like the last 2 again with your application number, because they did ask me for that later. Like, so they look at your application, they see like some documents are outdated, and they reach out to you and say like, we need this and this and this again, and then you send it back.
They always do, man. They always do. It's a long process, but for sure worth it. I want to finish this episode up with some little questions to spark curiosity. Would you rather eat German food forever or Kazakh food for the rest of your life?
Kazakh food forever.
Ooh, yeah? You're like, no question?
No.
You're like, there's not even like no competition.
No.
Why? Tell us a bit more about Kazakh food.
Well, the main thing, I guess, which is different, we eat horse meat. And
crazy.
I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't know that. Maybe I did.
Yeah, because I guess it's also from nomadic culture, like back then, like, and yeah, there are still a lot of like horse farms and stuff, like, yeah.
You're like, so.
Yeah.
For sure, your people's food.
Yeah. And like we have like nice dumplings and stuff. Like I like it.
Kazakh hospitality or German efficiency?
Oh. Like what am I choosing?
In what sense?
What am I choosing?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Forever.
Forever.
You can only choose one.
Kazakh hospitality.
Oh. Would you say you guys are super warm?
Yeah,
that's like what Google told me.
Definitely.
That you guys have a super like hospitable culture, and also like tourism, even like within the country.
Yeah. It's also like not only for like tourists, but it's also like if you're going to visit someone, there is always like you have to try something, like some food you have to eat.
Some tea.
Yeah, some tea, like at least, and like you always bring something, and then you bring home something. Like it's there is a lot of like.
I love that. Yeah, I love like going to someone's home and bringing something, or having something for people too, like the mutual exchange.
Yeah,
I would say my like Tex-Mex culture is pretty similar in that way. And then lastly, because you did mention dumplings, would you rather have Polish pierogis or Kazakh mantis?
Kazakh mantis.
You're like, that one's also like not hard. Oh, poor Christoph. He's gonna like be like, okay.
I do love pierogis as well.
Yeah. But what's special about mantis?
Well, it's like meat and with some potatoes or like some pumpkin sometimes, and in the dough, and then you cook it on a steam, and it's like it's delicious. I don't know.
Can you get that here in Munich?
No.
Oof. Do you ever make them yourself?
I mean, actually, you can. There is one new place in Münchner Freiheit, and it's called Piala, and they make mante, I think. Yeah.
Wow. And have you been?
Yeah, it was good.
we have to remember that then. Bibi, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank
for joining
you.
me on this episode. I had a blast getting to learn all about your country.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much more to learn. But yeah.
Time flew by very quickly.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I hope
really
you enjoyed
it. Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy to hear. And for everyone listening, thanks a lot for tuning in. And until next week.
Bye.
Bye. The Pod Abroad's video, audio, and music is produced and edited by Tim Tehone. Make sure to give us a follow and leave a comment if you like this episode.